Today, I'm going to tell you why this is a mistake. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome to the Halcyon Dive Systems YouTube channel. My name is Nico, one of the many hosts right here on the channel. Over the course of the next 12 months, the channel is going to become synonymous with telling real dive stories from real divers and relating those to the boutique pieces of equipment that Halcyon Dive Systems is synonymous with. And today I'm going to be talking you through, I'm actually going to start with a story that I have. So, back in the day, I don't do it anymore, I was a very active dive instructor, worked in Southeast Asia, and like many of you I'm sure, I started with a traditional jacket BCD. Not specifically this one, but one in this sort of shape, right? So, I got, I think 1,000, 2,000 dives in on it, happy as Larry, loved my jacket BCD. And then someone bought me a present for my birthday, and it happened to be a Halcyon wing. Now, my initial apprehension was, I don't need it, I love my BCD, I'm very happy with it, why would I need to change? But you know, someone gets you a present, you don't just say no to it, right? So I actually wore it for a few dives, and it was love at first sight, it was instantaneous bliss. And what was interesting is that while I loved it, my initial thought was, yeah, but I love my jacket BCD too, why is this that much better? With the organization I was training with at the time, the type of training which I was doing for my students necessitated me wearing a BCD jacket. So after having tried the wing for a few days, I was called onto a course and had to get back into my BCD jacket, the traditional jacket. And oh wow. Now, as I just said a moment ago, that in my initial feeling of difference between the jacket BCD versus the wing wasn't great until I went back to the BCD, and then it was just like a light bulb moment, and all the things which were coming naturally to me before, which were made so much better by the wing, now I couldn't go back to a jacket. And I'd like to go through a few reasons why I think that is, and why I actually think all of you, irrespective of what your experience level is, should really be considering starting and continuing your diving in a wing style BCD. One of the first things I noticed was my trim in the water. Now, that's not to say that my trim when I was using a jacket style BCD was bad. In fact, I believe quite the opposite, but here's the problem. With a jacket style BCD, the gas is partitioned everywhere. So yes, you do have gas that goes around your back to keep you buoyant, yes, sure. Also around your bottom, also around the sides here, and on the bottom of the sides here. They do still have a tendency to ride up around the shoulders and a little bit around the lower back, to be honest. But with the backplate and wing setup, what you have, as well as the backplate of course, is you get the harness that goes through it, and then you get this little bad boy, the crotch strap. Now, a lot of people get worried when they've never tried one of these, that is it going to hurt me, is it going to be uncomfortable, is it going to get in the way? No, honestly no, it's completely harmless, I guess you would say. It's not painful, there's no discomfort, it's not obtrusive or invasive at all. It's really just an additional tool that allows the wing setup to stay completely connected to your body. It prevents it riding up the shoulders, it keeps the lower part of the wing connected to your lower back, and it just adds to the element of being able to stay trimmed in the water. Now, another huge misapprehension that people have about the backplate and wing setup is, oh, it's a technical diver's thing, or I've got to be really experienced to use it. Just so not the case. You could very easily, without even ever having, done but a few dives, start with a backplate and wing setup. That could easily be your first purchase for a buoyancy compensator. It really doesn't matter if you've only got 5 or 6 dives. You can start with these things from the get-go. It doesn't matter what your training organization is. If you know how to dive, if you've been trained how to dive and you are wanting to buy a buoyancy compensator, you can start with these things. They're wonderful. Now, there's no doubt that the single biggest barrier, hurdle that any consumer is going to have when even considering buying one of these is going to be the price. And yes, there's no sugarcoating it. As a standalone item, the backplate and wing is a more expensive item than most standalone BCD jackets. However, what I can tell you is over the years of, over 20 years of diving, I've had to buy multiple BCD jackets. And that's not because they failed. It's just because, and this leads us into our next point, which is about sizing. It's because I've changed. Now, what's great about the backplate and wing setup is that, here's context. I'm a big guy, I'm 6'2", I'm kind of rugby build, right? I didn't look like this when I was in my mid-20s. And if I was still diving on a BCD jacket now, and I can tell you this because I still have my BCD jacket from back then, it doesn't fit me anymore. I was diving on a medium back then. Now I'd probably need an extra large. What's wonderful about this setup is that it doesn't really matter within reason how your body changes. This piece of equipment will evolve with you. As your body changes, you can loosen the shoulders, you can loosen around the waist, you can loosen the crotch strap. And if you do get, really a lot bigger, there are actually larger harnesses that you can buy to compensate for that. So the same way that you're evolving and growing and your body's changing, this thing can change with you without you having to purchase yet another piece of equipment. It's a one-time purchase for most part. So those are a few of my key points of why I think diving with a BCD jacket is a mistake and why you should evolve into, or maybe even start with, a backplate and wing setup. If you have any comments on the matter, or indeed any questions, please do leave those in the comment section down below. And if you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing to us, and do be sure to like the video and share it with anyone who you think may be interested in dive gear topics. These, as always, are real stories from real divers. Stay tuned to the channel for more of this, and if you want to see more real stories from real divers, there's a video you can click right here that will take you to our next video. So stay diving, stay safe, and I'll see you guys very soon.